Hello friends, in this session I'm going to introduce you with NetBeans. Now up till now whatever the projects or rather we can say programs we define, that all we designed using Edit Plus. Edit Plus is a code editor where you can edit the code over there, but whenever you are dealing with the projects where you may have n number of classes, n number of frames, n number of means your collection of programs will be more. In such situations you need to use IDE. IDE stand for Integrated Development Environment. Means if your project consists n number of files, so instead of, it's very tough to deal with the all the files using Edit Plus. So in such situations NetBeans need to be used over there. So while project development we need to use an IDEs like NetBeans, Eclipse and all, right? Eclipse also used over there. Currently I am going to demonstrate to you about the NetBeans, right? So now you have NetBeans IDE installed in your machine. You double click on the NetBeans IDE and open that IDE. Right? And let us understand that you're going to create a, just wait, it will be loaded over here. Okay, after loading this NetBeans, if you are planning to create a new project, you select a file, it will take some time to load file and then new project. And right now I'm going to demonstrate about the Java application. So you select Java and Java application and click on the next. Let us understand that we are developing a project name by the name as Demo First is a project name, right? And then it will ask you the project location where you want to save it. I'm going to save it in the the Java test. So during this project developments, whatever the number of files you are going to generate, that all will be stored under the folder called as Demo First, right? And it is asking that what will be the main class. What will be the name of your main class? Your main class maybe if you want to keep Demo First with the name class, that will be by default. But if you want to go with any other class, let's say my class name, main class name should be the test1, and I finished on this. Once you specify this project name and the main class name and the path, your NetBeans IDE will automatically put you into the code development area, where it will create a default package Demo First for you, because look at the project he developed. Demo First is a project. If you expand it, you will find the source packages. Means it will create a package by the name of that project title, and inside that you have a main class by the name of test.java, and here is the libraries and all. We'll be discussing about libraries and all later on. Now package Demo First. First of all, we need to understand what exactly mean by a package, right? Because up till now in Java programs we write a statement like import java.lang.star, import java.util.star, import java.io.star. Now what is package means? This is I just explain you that these are the importing packages, means like all the classes are actually stored in that particular package. So means what is package means then? It's a collection of classes, right, and interfaces. Means what Java will do, it will provide you the library. Java provides you library in the form of package, and package consists classes, interfaces and sub package, right? So this is what the package means. Anyway, we'll back to the NetBeans. Here public class test, right, means so if we develop a class as a test over there. Now this public is a class modifier. I'll be explaining about the class modifier later on. Now it's all IDE design code over there. So here public static void main, you can directly write a code over here. Let us test, as this is your first code. Let's like here we'll import the package now. Import java dot. Now as you are using IDE, NetBeans as IDE, it will help you out because there is no need to memorize the things. Java.lang.star, right? Import java.util.star, right? And then likewise. Now here I am developing a test class, and let's say I'm writing this project or program for read a number to print 10 multiples of it, right? So now this is the program I am developing. So here in this case I'll developing I'll create the object of a scanner class. Scanner is equal to new scanner, right? And system.in, right? Here and then system.out.println. You'll all the time you'll get the help from the NetBeans IDE. Enter number, so that there is no need to memorize the syntaxes and about the methods and all. You'll get the assistance from the IDE. This is this is called intellectual IDEs are there, so that like there is no need to memorize the things, and you can you'll means like what methods are available in the scanner class, what methods are available in the system and all. So you just need to type that class and dot, you'll get the list all the things, right? Okay. So now I'm trying to write the code for finding the multiples of a given number. So int n equals to sc dot next. You just wait over there sc dot. You'll find the various methods. Next, this is also one of the way to read it. Next integer, and then now you read the number and you want to have the 10 multiples of it. So why don't you develop a method for this? Method for printing multiples of a given number. Let's say we'll develop a static method for this reason. Public static void multi, and we'll need a number to find the multiples of it. Then here we'll set the loop for integer I equals, because I want to print the 10 multiples. I equals to 1, I less than 10, I plus plus, and system dot out dot print ln. Okay, n plus I equals to in the bracket n into I. Now this is the method definition. So means like as we are generating 10 multiples, and method cannot return more than one value at a time. So it's a void type of method we develop, and it's a method of static type. So class reference is required, and if we are referring to the same class, there is no need of class reference also. So I can directly give a call like it's a void method, nothing returning, so multi, and pass on the value of a number, call to static multi, right? So the whatever the number you will input, it will give a call to the static multi, and it will develop the 10 multiples of it. And here it is like end of multi, and here is end of your class, and obviously okay, here extra closing parameter is there, you have to close it down. Okay, if you can comment like end of class and all, then it will be better. Now from here only you can test the code. Right click on this and go for the run file. It will be pop up output window here, and it will say enter a number. If I enter 5, it will give me the output of all the multiples of the numbers I entered. Even I can make a comment here, system dot out dot println multiples of the number that is will take the follows over. Right? Let's show it again, and enter number 6 over here. You got the multiples, all multiples of the 6 will be printed 6, 12, and up to 60. Now here this is just a approach called as structure oriented approach over there. We just read the value and pass on to the method. So it's a structure oriented programming. Just we recently discussed in the OOP session. Now obviously as it is a very small method to process, it's very easy to write a code for this. But actually what we can do now, okay, why don't you develop a package, right, so that I can able to import that method from somewhere. So what I will do in this case, in the source package, I will add it, right click on this and create a new Java package. Now package is a collection of classes, so I will be writing a class for that reason, and I will say class, maybe package name my pckg, any name you can write, my pckg, the package name in the project demo first, right, and location of the source package, and you click on that. So it will develop a package for you. Inside that package you add a class, Java class, and your class name will be multi is a class name, right, and you click on that. So it will develop a package called as my pckg, my package, and then in that you have a multi class. In the multi class, what we will do, we'll define that particular static method. Okay, cut from here and paste it in the multi class. Now the definition will be in the package my package, public class multi. Why the class has to be public? Because if your class is not public, then it becomes private. So its accession is restricted to the same package. Now here in this case we are creating a package and we are importing the classes belong to the package in the another package, right? So that's why now here I cut that particular method from the particular class and paste it to the multi. Means now multi method. Okay, I'll write change the name of it. Okay, find multi is the name of that method, right? Find multi, and multi is a class, right? Because class name and method name should not be the same. It's a constructor, otherwise it become a constructor. So in the multi-class, in the package, my package, I am having a find multi method. So I'll get back to the test.java. Now I need to refer to that find multi method which is available in the multi-class. So what I need to do here, I need to import what I need to import, my pckg, right? My pckg was the package name, and then dot. You will find multi-class accessible over here because it was a public in nature. So now as this multi-class is accessible from this particular package, so this class will be accessible. So I can able to access the find multi method also defined in that. So I'll make a copy of that find multi, and here instead of multi I'll be giving call to find multi and pass on this n value as an argument. Right now as this find multi is a method not belong to the test class, it belong to the multi class, though it is a static method. So but you cannot directly give a call to the find multi, you have to give a call like this, multi dot find multi, right? Multi dot find multi and then n, because here in this case the class reference is compulsory because this method find multi is not belong to this particular present class over there. Now now we have a class test, we read the number, right, and we give a call to the find multi method, which is not the method of this test class. This is the method belong to the multi class which is present in the package called as mypk. So here what I did, I create a package. How I create a package? Right click on the source package, new Java package. Now what is package? It's a collection of classes. So in this manner you can create your own library. Just like in case of, just understand here what Java guys will do, will lead what Java guys did over there, they provide you the library in the form of package. So Java is a core package, then they produce a package called as lang, and then they wrote all the classes belong to lang over here. In the similar manner, just like we are actually importing that all the classes belong to java.lang, java.util, and we are using that all the classes over here. In the similar manner, we can also create your own package, and that all the classes and the methods belong to that particular class. You can able to import and use it in the current class over there. Let's run this code and check it out whether it will run in a similar way. Okay, enter the number 5, it will develop a multiples of 5. If you run the file again and if you enter number 6, we can. It's like the things what we discussed, that is it will be clear to us that what I did, I initially create a test class, right, where I'll read the number and find the multiples of it, and then what I did, that method of finding multiples I separate it from the test class and write in a different class called as multi, and I store that method over there. So in this manner I can able to create my own package and with the class called as multi, and there I store the method like this, right? Okay, let's discuss with another example. Now for that reason, in the demo first I'll be writing another Java class, right? Let's say my new class will be, okay, my class is a class I'm adding. So in the demo first package, I'm having a public class my class, and inside that I may be writing the process for read a number to read a 4-digit number to print using alphabet, right? So means like if you input 1 2 3 4, the output will be 1 2 3 and 4, right? Okay, so now in this case what I'm going to do now, I'm having a demo first package, and in that I'm having a public class my class. Develop a main method, public static void main, and array of string, and you just ask the user. You will be importing java.lang.start and import java.util.start, and here ask the user system.out.println enter a 4-digit number, and here I will initialize the object of the scanner class. Alright, and here system.out.println enter a 4-digit number, you specify the semicolon, and int n equals to sc next integer. You read the 4-digit number. After that, right, we are expecting that that particular 1 2 3 4, if I am inputting as a number, then it has to be print using alphabet. For this reason, what I will do, I will develop another source class, right, Java class, and I am giving to give a name to it, convert. In the convert, I am going to develop a convert class in the package called as my package, right, and finished. So in the package my package, convert class get added over that. Now public, what I am expecting, that entire resultant string value, right? So string, okay, int, okay, int to alpha convert method I am writing, and it will take a number, right, into alpha convert method I am writing, and it will take a 4-digit number as an argument. Now what is the logic in that? The logic will be, okay, first of all, declare as you have a 4-digit number, you take it int a equals to 1000. I'll explain this to you. And then while the value of n remains more than 0, what you need to do, and we are developing a static method over here, right? Static. So that I can directly refer by the class name, no need to create the object of it. Okay, so a is 1000, n is more, while n is more than 0, switch n by a. Right? Now I'll explain the logic firstly. Let's say if you input a number 1 2 3 4, right? So I'm having a equal to 1000, right? So while the value of n remains more than 0, I need to switch n by a. Now we know that 1234 by 1000, it will give me a quotient as a 1, because both are the integer type of data. So once I switch 1, I need to write all the cases, like case 1, you know, then you need to print 1, right, in this manner, right? So put back to the NetBeans. Now here I will be generating the resultant string, result equals to blank, right? Switch n by a, right? And if case 1, if the value switched is 1, then result plus equals to 1, right? Result plus equals to 1 means you concat that 1 over there in bracket. If it is case 2, case 3, case 2, then you need to concat 2. Case 3, you need to concat 3. Case 4, you need to concat 4. Case 5, you need to concat 5. In this manner, you obviously all the numbers are the combination of 0 to 9. So I can 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Default, if nothing from this, then your result will be 0, and this also. Okay. And after extracting that quotient, right? After extracting that quotient from the switch, this end of switch, then you have to write n equals to n minus n by a into a, and a equals to a by 10, okay? And this is the end of while, and this is your end of method. And then your end of class, and here it's a extra function. Here you have to return that resultant result. Right? I'll explain this to you. What I did now, main logic is, if 1 2 3 4 is a 4-digit number, initially the value of a is 1000. Keep understanding that these are 4-digit numbers, the value of a is in the 1000 place. So 1 2 3 4 divided by 1000, that will extract out 1. Then next time I wrote expressions n equals to n minus n by a into a. It means 1 2 3 4 minus 1 2 3 4 minus 1 into 1000. So n become 234, right? And a equals to a by 10. So a becomes 100. Means initially the first step will be 1 2 3 4 divided by 1000. The second step will be 234 divided by 100. So it will extract out 2 as a quotient. Second step will be 34 by 10. It will extract out 3 as a quotient, and 4 divided by 1, it will extract out 4. So in this manner 1 2 3 4 quotients will be switched, and then it will match to the cases, and according to that particular alphabet will be concatenated over there. And then now look at the logic over here. What I did, in a public string into alpha converter, I need a 4-digit number. String result equals to blank, int a equals to 1000, while n more than 0, switch the value of n by a. Case 1, you concate 1 2 3 4 up to the 9, and the default is 0. Then you understand now the logic of n equals to n minus n by a into a and a equal to a by 10 and return the result. This is end of switch, end of while, and this is end of method, and this is end of class. Now we back to the your my class, right, where you read the 4-digit number, and now you need to import my package dot, which class is there? Convert class is there, right? So my package consists now two classes, multi and convert. In the convert class, I am having a method to convert the digits to alphabets. So I am using system dot out dot println. You can take a result in string also, but okay. Converted string, okay? Because we are getting a string back over there. That is, now convert class consists convert dot, the class is convert, okay, so convert, I'm sorry, like the spelling is mistake over there. Convert dot whatever is user defined class, convert dot this one, convert is a class, and okay, so here this one, my package dot what class? Convert class. We are importing it. When you go to the convert class, you'll find public static method over there, okay, into alpha. So in my class I write convert dot the method name to pass on the n as an argument and call it over. So now convert class, actually it has to be converted class, but anyway we can make it convert dot into alpha convert and pass on as an argument, and that's it. Let us test it. What is saying? Cannot find the symbol method into alpha, okay, integer location component, public class code, it is there, into alpha and string written over there. Fine, let us test this. It has to be convert class, and convert class is a public class as well. Fine, not a problem. Then run this method, run this file, you get it, and okay, enter a 4-digit number. Then if you try 1 2 3 4, you'll get 1 2 3 4 answer over there. It's like if I input any number, its digits will be separated and it will be converted into string. If you run any file and 6 7 8 9, you'll get the 6 7 8 9. If you run the file and then 5 6 any random 3 2, you get the 5 6 3 2. In this manner successfully we are able to develop what I did. I am having a my class which reads the number from you, 4-digit number from you. Even you can write the, like, there is no point to go with the 4-digit number, but because as you know the logic, if you have a 4-digit number, then the value of a equal to 1000. You can even if you want to write the generic logic where a user can enter any number, then obviously first of all you have to enter the number, and after that you need to count the digits in that number, and then you have to develop a dynamic value of a. But here now I am just focusing on the 4-digit number so that I can assume the value of a as 1000. So I'll enter a number and then that I will pass it on to the into alpha converter. Into alpha convert is a method and I belong to convert class, and then this is user defined class, so you can name it as any class name. So I stored in the package called as my package, make it accessible in the my class, and then by using this conversion logic, I can able to convert that number into the alphabets over there. Hope you understand the things, right? So here in the first session, by using NetBeans, what I am trying, how to construct the main class, how to construct the project, how to construct the package, how to write the methods inside that particular public class and make it accessible to the main over there, right? Right now I just demonstrated with the static methods and very simple examples over there. Try this all the things, and then I'll give you some assignment list. Once you through with it, I'll go for the next sessions. All right? Thank you.